and to relieve some aching hearts. There is no need for fear, as this is a staged event. I cannot reveal my sources, they do go straight to the top, but hopefully what I write will echo inside each person reading this as the truth. Much of the information I present here cannot be easily verified, fast-checked, or ever presented as anything but hearsay, as they are just the words of an anonymous online entity. The government, corporations, and the people behind them have pulled out all of the stops to ensure the truth does not come out. They are the reason why the beaches have private security contractors, ensuring no one is able to gain access to the oil on the shore. No researchers, no press. They are the reason the Gulf of Mexico is a no-fly zone. They are the reason why the Gulf states are being locked down by military. They are the reason why the wellhead you see is different in many videos that BP releases. Without this measure of control, the illusion would fail. In this post, what I can do is provide leading evidence or give clues to the truth. From there, you can use something that has gone by the wayside: common sense. The large oil spills washing up on the shores are not from BP Deep Horizon. They are indeed from surrounding wells that are already leaking by design. These wells can be verified through a simple online search. You'll notice that much of the oil is actually in the form of tar, usually tar balls. Sizes of these have reached 2,000 plus pounds. From the start, BP, Halliburton, Goldman Sachs, Obama, and other co-conspirators knew where they were drilling. Using specific equipment such as the German ship RV Sony, they had detailed maps of the ocean bottom. The ship and a specific college study from 2005 in the Gulf of Mexico are your starting points to what's really happening in the Gulf. A link to the study synopsis is provided in the description box. What BP, Halliburton, and other co-conspirators intentionally drilled into was an asphalt volcano. Sounds scary, doesn't it? It really is not. In fact, after you read the link, you'll know that the Gulf of Mexico is literally coated in oil, tar, and methane hydrate at the bottom. The study went on to find that massive aquatic life has specifically adapted to living off the hydrocarbons. That in fact these asphalt volcanoes are a natural part of the ocean ecology, and their eruptions actually benefit the sea life over the long duration of time. Another aspect to what I was directly told is that BP, Halliburton, and other co-conspirators drilled intentionally into the mid-side of this particular asphalt volcano. Basically, from what I understand, it is a soda bottle effect. If they had drilled into the top of the volcano, then all the gas would rise out and explode as would a bottled carbonated liquid. The effect of drilling into the side permits a safely controlled release of gas, tar, liquid asphalt, and other related gases. What was done is more or less a controlled release, almost natural in fact. The asphalt volcano is a win-win situation for this false flag, as it presented the best illusion to all outside parties. Not only do the conspirators need to fool the general public, but also the oil industry and scientific community. The public is easy to fool, but the later two groups take a little bit more effort. This is the main reason why the Gulf is being isolated by security contractors and military. Anyone well-versed on this giant debacle in the Gulf knows that it is surrounded with stories and claims of negligence. This was the first purposeful aspect to make this story seem credible to all outside parties, as the story is more easily believed when it is chalked up to human error or incompetence. Besides using inferior, shoddy, or flat-out negligent craftsmanship, as the well was intended to fail from the onset, the conspirators knew that the pressure produced from the volcano would blow out even better equipment. This was the second mechanism used to fool other industry experts. All experts in scientific communities only know what they are told, and that is that the well tapped into the large high-pressure hydrocarbon pocket. To even a trained eye, what they are being told appears to be a massive oil gusher, when in fact it's a controlled event. Watching the videos or live feeds looks horrible and very ominous, but upon closer examination, the telltale signs of what it really is shows through. What you are actually viewing is a man-made, well-bore, large black smoker. You should take note, as the evidence is built, the live feed appears to have been tampered with. I suspect it is because of the video shown below. The man narrating the video has it correct. It is a volcano, but those aren't flames. From the links we've provided, they are a combination of gases. Specifically, sulfur and iron are what create the flame effect. Since the airing of that video, several of the live feeds have been proven to be tampered footage or fake. You need to realize that an illusion is only as good as its weakest link. All scientific evidence on paper coming from the government and the corporations is being fudged. In the case of this staged and controlled event, that weak link is the oil, or more specifically the tangible tar that can be collected. As I mentioned, much of the oil that has been seen or noticed is tar rather than heavy crude. Out at sea, closest to the Deep Horizon site, shrimpers have been hired to boom the oil and tar together and set it ablaze. There are several huge fires right now out in the Gulf. The reason for this is to hide the evidence. The distinct asphalt volcano tar is actually coated with naturally produced oil-eating microbes and other natural safeguards produced by Mother Nature. These types of organisms are not present in a regular oil well, but commonly in the asphalt volcanoes and large tar flows at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. To continue with why the asphalt volcano was a win-win situation for the conspirators to drill into is the heaviness of the tar. The tar will cling to lighter oil and fall to the bottom of the Gulf at some point near in the future. Also, the microbes and other organisms that naturally occur from this will multiply. They will not only eat the tar, but the other controlled release gases that are being pumped into the Gulf of Mexico. We've all seen the videos of beaches not lined so much with oil, but with tar balls of varying sizes. Also, we've noticed BP's overall lack of concern for the cleanup. We've seen booms which aren't tied together. We've heard first-hand account of staged cleanups on the beaches. As soon as a press conference or media event is done, BP stops work. The reason is simple. It's not that they don't care, but they already know what's going to happen. The oil will start naturally being cleaned up via decomposition, oil-eating organisms, and falling to the already naturally tar-covered bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. What is the benefit of this scam? Money and population control. Read the Intel Hub article linked. If you are still listening and even beginning to grasp the sinister nature of the fraud being perpetrated, then you realize that the Corexit 9500 and other dispersants are not needed. They are purposely being sprayed by Evergreen Air/CIA to cull the population along the Gulf Coast. Evergreen Air is a known CIA front company. The Intel Hub, along with many others, have established this fact without a reasonable doubt. The evidence was backed by witness testimony. Once this is established, one must realize just how deep the rabbit hole may go. As it turns out, the deadly chemical Corexit is linked to the Rothschilds, a known controlling party of the New World Order global crime syndicate. Also explained to me is the large amount of useless eaters, pond scum, or other undesirables living along the Gulf Coast. These would be Americans living off of the government. I will not beat around the bush here with pleasantries or politically correct statements. The coastal area from Texas to Florida has the highest or most dense population of targets of elimination by the United States government and corporations. These are populations living on welfare, in this area dominated by African Americans, an older population living on Social Security. These people are going to start dropping like flies over the next few years and greatly reduce the burden to government coffers. In this respect, this is a doomsday event, but it's not the end of the food chain. Death of the oceans, or, as some have warned, extinction-level events. It is only bad for the targeted populations. To cover the money aspects of this fraudulent event are somewhat self-evident, primarily as President Barack Hussein Obama, who's not very worried, has just pointed out they are using this false flag to move forward with the carbon tax followed by cap and trade. Another aspect of profit is the cleanup of this disaster. Those boats aren't running around for free in the Gulf. From there is the very real aspect of banks calling their notes on the remaining mortgage properties along the Gulf and peninsula of Florida. Remember Katrina? They never gave the land back, but sold it to casinos and other businesses. Almost all of the beachfront property will end up in the hands of the banks and the government. They'll play this disaster off for a few years and explain the mysterious disappearance of oil on the kindness of Mother Nature. The side effects of this scam are negligible. In the eyes of the perpetrators, they've done nature a favor. They've opened an asphalt volcano from the side and will shut it down in the next few months by equalizing the pressure. The equalization of pressure will come by the way of two relief wells, which are not wells but vents. When they do this, I have no clue what excuse they'll use.